Okay, I can see it's gone live now, I think. Okay. Good early morning. You're with Aroha, and I haven't been on here for a long time. Mostly because this TikTok app is too slow. She was on here quite a few months ago. And I've actually had a very interesting time. I wouldn't say it was a good time. Most of my time was hospital. Oh my gosh. The amount of times I ended up in hospital this year, starting from February the 24th. How am I right now? Good. I'm okay. But from the 24th onwards, I couldn't actually walk. For 12 days I was in hospital. I needed help. And that's because my leg had doubled in size and had swollen to the point I couldn't help myself. I couldn't walk. And I needed help. So they put me in ICU. I was in ICU for 6 days. So by the 5th day, I was determined that I was going to walk myself. And I used for the first 6 days what was called a Serra-Steady. And if you've worked in that area in a hospital, you will know what that is, which means it was the only way I could get help to move and do things. Without that, I was absolutely useless. And by the 5th day, I didn't need it anymore. So I started to get better. And I finally left. I tell you what, I hated ICU. You would think, oh yeah, go there, those people help you. Yes, I admit those people do help you. But I was blinking cold in there. I was wearing about 3 jerseys. I had about doubled up on my blankets. It was just so cold. I don't ever want to go there again, and I haven't. And from there, then I ended up in medical, and I stayed there for 6 days. The doctor I had, he was absolutely fantastic. And but during that time while I was in medical, I ended up with, what's that word? Cellulitis. Cellulitis is when you get like air pockets in your legs and they create water coming out. Oh, that sounds horrible, eh? Well, it was. And because my leg was quite huge, in both of them, and my foot was swollen, I was able to walk with crutches. And this doctor gave me certain medication that actually helped me get rid of the cellulitis and the water that was in my legs. That was there for about 3 days, and then it started to stop. If anybody's going through this right now, I'm telling you now that, if you want to clear all the water that's in your body and you need to get rid of it, And especially if you've got cellulitis and watery legs, there's a product called Buranex. It's way better than Furosemide. Furosemide is nothing in comparison to Buranex. Buranex, you take 2 a day, and it actually clears and actually helps the swelling in your legs to go down. I should know because it did that to me. And by then, the next 6 days, which was 12 days, I finally got out of hospital. Yay! Thinking, oh yeah, it's all over. No. And then they introduced a product to me. It was another form of what they call insulin, and it's called Trulicity. Okay, for those who it works for, that's good for you, but it did not work for me. And as much as those doctors wanted to make sure that I keep doing it, I was, oh hell no. Because it gave me heart palpitations I'd never had in my life. In fact, it gave me one piece like I had a heart attack, and then they had to put this thing under my tongue. It only happened once. But that put me in hospital again for 7 days, and I refused to take any more of this, what they called Trulicity. Even though some people says, oh, my mother's had it for ages and she's fine. I went, good on her. Not for me. Hell no. So I refused. And they didn't force me or push me to have it. But from that incident, they started putting stickers all over my body, and they started giving me ECGs every day. Now, you got to know how annoying that is. I felt like a guinea pig in the hospital, and you had all these Polytech students coming in, learning how to use and put the stuff on my body every day while I was in there, and using me as, oh, how do you do this, how do you do that, and then sticking all the stuff all over me, saying, oh, I'm getting better at it. I thought, am I just a guinea pig? And this happened for 7 days in a row. I couldn't stand it any longer. And eventually I left after 7 days. No, that wasn't for me. I was so glad to get home. I felt safer at home. And also, they were giving me Rivaroxaban. And I stopped them. I said, you're not giving me that stuff. And then they gave me what was called blood clot thinners. I said, you're not giving me that either. I'm not touching that. So they said, oh, why not? I said, because I can walk and I move around a lot at night. So I said, have you not seen me walking around the hospital? Blood clot thinners are only for people who can't move. And so they stopped giving it to me because I refused to have it. You don't have to have anything you don't want in the hospital. And I didn't want that. Now, that was the second time I was in hospital. That was for 7 days. And then I ended up back in hospital again. I've just been out now 3 weeks. But prior to that, just going back a few months, I ended up in there for 2.5 weeks. Now, why? Because I ended up with water in my knees. I couldn't believe it. I thought, I'm back in a hospital. And I was in agony. My pain was a 10, 10, 10. And when the doctor saw me, they said, we need to give you an emergency surgery to get the water out of your knee. They said, there's no other way we can do this. And I was so happy. I said, whatever it takes, just get rid of it. The pain is horrible. So they gave me morphine. Oh, that was great. Yeah, so that actually helped ease my pain, but the pain was still there. And then eventually I went in, and then they finally got rid of the water. Oh, that was good. Next day I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to walk. That's fine. Now, it was only in my left knee. So they finally drew out the water from my knee. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be fine soon. 2.5 weeks later. Now, what actually happened was I thought I was going to come right, but I ended up on crutches. Why? Because my other knee went funny. It didn't have water in the knee. It became painful. Both my legs, and I could not walk. I thought, what the hell? Again, I can't walk. But the crutches helped, and I was up every day, walking around with my crutches. I didn't care how slow I was, but I was walking around for those 2.5 weeks on crutches. And I could see I was getting better because I was such a determined person to get myself well. And so that was the third time being in hospital. Oh my gosh. And even when I left, I was still on crutches, but I could feel myself getting better. And yes, so that's what happened to me while I was in hospital. I finally got out, and they gave me some support and help. Okay. Then I got help from a caregiver. Now, this is a funny story, because the caregiver, when I was a caregiver, I actually helped this person get the job. And I think that was about 5 years ago, because we were talking about it just the other day, her and I. And she says, I'm really grateful because you got me my job. I says, I'm really grateful I got you that job too, because now you're my caregiver. What a twist of events. And she is fantastic to have to now care for me. So I actually profited from her goodwill and her support for me. She's wonderful, she's fantastic, and she helps me Monday to Friday, because her help actually helps me. I only have one problem though. Even though I'm walking, I'm fine, it's good, I cannot climb stairs very well. That's about it. Otherwise, I've come a long way. Now, there's something else that you probably don't know too much about me. And since 2013, could even be longer, I've always had long hair. Always. And very vain. When I say vain, because I've always loved long hair from very young. And because my mum, she would cut my hair. Oh, and she'd make a hash of it. So I vowed one day when I got time to look after me, I will grow my hair. And I did. And at the odd times I have had it cut. But by 2013, I vowed never to cut it again. I only did it once back then. And so my hair had been long for quite a while. But if you noticed, I've cut my hair. And I'm actually very happy too. Now there's more things that have gone on. You have no idea how my life has changed since, because I'm going to go back just a few years, back to 2021, November the 16th, 2021, when we all had to make the decision to whether we continue work or we lose our jobs. And that was because of COVID. And I made the decision to contact COVID, human resource, and ask them a simple question, and it was, what's in the vaccination? Do you know? They never ever gave me an answer. And so because I could not make a definite decision, they made one for me. So at my job, my boss had no choice but to write me a Dear John letter. And I I was fine with it because I understood that she had to do her job, is why I was unable to continue. And she says, because of that, she says, I have to let you go. I says, okay. And there were so many of us that lost our jobs on the 16th of November because we made a choice. We made a choice about not being vaccinated, or me even asking the question. They couldn't even give me a damn answer. And that's a fact. So, okay. But there was more to the story that I ever let on. And I kind of only just let it out this year. And that was, I was told I could not even go back to any rest home or to even that particular rest home to continue working. And if I did, I would be fined, true story, $1,000. On top of that, my boss says you can't come back here, and if you do, we also get fined. So we get fined $1,000 if you show up back here, and you get fined $1,000 if you show up, because of the mandates. The mandates prevented me from even visiting the place, and I was gutted. I was very gutted because I had family that was in there, and I missed seeing them. But there was nothing I could do about it. So that's what happened to me. And it completely changed my whole life. Everything kind of changed. Now, if we go back to February this year, talk about change. Oh my God. I'm going to share this with you because I know there's quite a few people out there that are in my same situation. Now, I don't have a family inheritance to this thing that I have. The family inheritance doesn't exist. My family again, how did you get that? I mean, I don't know. It just, boom, it's there. I want to swear sometimes because it changed my whole life. I have a condition that I've never had in my whole life called psoriasis. Now, so means itchy, rhiasis means itchy skin. And I had never heard of it until February this year. I didn't even know what it was. Now, when I went to the doctor, he gave me some cream because he only saw my back. And then my partner says, what about your front? I says, oh, I don't know. So the following week, I made another appointment with my doctor, and I went back again. And he saw my back, and then he saw my front, and he went, oh, you have psoriasis. I went, what's that? And he showed me pictures online. And I tell you what, it messed with my brain. Still does. And I tell you what, I'm constantly at my skin. Do you know the worst part of psoriasis? If any of you are experiencing this, it's dandruff in your hair. Now you understand why I had to cut my long hair. And I tell you what, I have no regrets because cutting my hair helps me deal with the dandruff. Now that's a problem that a lot of people with psoriasis get frustrated with. It's the dandruff. I am forever cleaning my hair. And if I had long hair, I would be at it and trying to keep my hair clean. Many people like me couldn't care a stuff now about long hair because they would rather be able to deal with getting the cleanliness of the hair. And what happens is, even though you clean your hair so much, it always ends up like snowy. So sometimes I want a body. Sometimes, oh, my body, just cut the whole damn thing off. But I was told not to do that. Don't do that. But cut it down as much as possible. And so what I do is I end up with a lot of herbal products, which is okay, because it's hard to know what to put into your hair. But I also have this problem around my neck, and it looks like damn sunburn. And I tell you what, for a while there I was neglecting the thought that, oh nah, I can't get rid of it, it's sore. But now I actually, through my friend who helps me, we get this product. She actually makes it up. It's calendula, kawakawa, chickweed. Now the chickweed's amazing. Now I read it about the chickweed. Now the chickweed can actually help with itch and sunburn. Now this here is actually psoriasis, but it's looks like a sunburn. I've never had sunburn in my life, but it looks like it. Now I've been putting that stuff on now for the last 5 days, and it's a hell of a lot better than it was when I first started doing it, because even though it's still red, it's starting to slowly heal because of the chickweed that's in the stuff. Now, it's not, what did she say? Oh, that she's also put, coconut oil. And then it hardens up naturally, so that by the time you put it on the next day, it's more solid. And then she's able to put it on. I tell you what, it's really, really helped me. And if anybody out there is going through psoriasis, or you know of somebody who's going through that, there are some stuff that can help you. I also put that stuff, chickweed, kawakawa, calendula, I think she said marigold, and coconut oil, which is all mixed in together, and now it's sealed. Now I can put it on. I also put it in my hair. It makes a hell of a lot of difference. My hair feels good, but that doesn't mean the dandruff goes away. But daily, you've got to do these things daily. Now my friend, she comes Monday to Friday, and I need her help to cream my whole body. Without her help, it's really impossible. And sometimes you forget. So this way, I haven't forgotten. She came up with the idea, half an hour a day, Monday to Friday. She gets paid by an organisation, and it helps me. So that's a lot of reasons why I've been on a quiet, because I've been in and out of hospital, and I've been needing a lot of help. Geez. So how I got it, no one knows. No, not even my family. They says, nobody in the family has it. I says, I know. I do. I've got it. And I thought, so I wouldn't wish it upon anybody's life to have psoriasis. It's not the same as eczema, so don't think it's eczema. Because if you have eczema, it's not the same. With psoriasis, a lot of things get involved with your whole condition. You also have what's called psoriasis arthritis. Now, if I hold on to things too long with my hand, it'll turn into something like this. And it takes a while before it comes loose, and then I've never ever had that problem in my entire life. So changes have been made. Oh, by the way, when I first went to hospital, I went in there on my birthday. And the funny thing is my mum, she was also in there because she had fallen over. I had no idea. My brother took her to A&E. While I was going off to ICU, my mum had been just arrived and ended up with 2 black eyes. I had no idea. I had none that she was actually there. So when we finally got talking to each other and I finally got out of hospital, I was able to see my mum 2 weeks later. I went to go and visit her, and then all our stories came out. And she goes, "What?" I says, "Yeah, well, I was in hospital on my birthday." And she says, "Yeah, so was I. I was there on your birthday." I thought, "Oh, that's just fine." So anyway, when I got out of hospital, I finally decided a month later, I think it was about June, July, that I'd have a birthday. And I had so much fun. And I says, well, at least I didn't miss out on a birthday. Even though I didn't have it on my actual day, I did. I had so much fun. Now, I'm going to share something with you. It was the most hilarious thing that ever happened to me on my birthday. Okay, so if you're listening now, I'm going to share it with you. Now, a family member makes biscuits, but not just any biscuits. And I said, look, I'll have one for my birthday. So he remembered, he showed up. He said, here's the biscuit. Listening? Are you listening? It was a marijuana biscuit. Anyway, I had it. I thought, oh, gee, looks like a cookie. So I ate it. I thought, oh, that's cool. It's yummy. Gee, it's nice. I've never had one of these before in my life. It was fine. Then I sat down. Then I thought, oh, I'm dizzy. And I can't see anyone talking to me properly. Something's wrong with me. I think, must be my diabetes. Something's wrong. And I couldn't even walk. So somehow or other, I was able to get up. I was a bit crooked. And then I got into the bedroom and I sat down. I was panicking because I thought my diabetes has gone wrong. And I thought something's not happening here. It's all just gone wrong. And then my partner was there at the door and I just went like this. And he goes, what's wrong? I think it's my diabetes. It's playing up. He goes, what do you mean? I says, I'm dizzy. Something's wrong with me. And he looked at me. He goes, what did you do this afternoon? I says, what do you mean, what did I do this afternoon? He says, didn't you just eat that cookie? And I went, oh, am I out of it? And he says, it's your fault. He says, it's not your diabetes, it's the cookie. And I went, oh, well, at least I know what the hell's wrong with me now. It's not my diabetes. So anyway, I had to go back into the lounge because it was my birthday. And I went back on crutches because I couldn't move. And I finally got back into the lounge and sat on the seat. And I couldn't stop laughing. And then my mum and my partner's friend were just sitting there. He knew why I was. Oh, that was thunder. He knew why I was laughing. Can you hear that thunder? Anyway, where there's thunder, there's lightning. I hate lightning. Shut my curtain. There we go. Anyway, Then I got back onto that seat with crutches. And then some family members will go, what's wrong with you? Why? You walk out and then you come back in crutches. I says, oh, unfortunately, I have to have the crutches. My daughters were outside. My partner went to go and talk to them, and all I heard them was just bursting into laughter because he told them what actually happened. Wow. They couldn't stop laughing. To make it worse, we had pavlova, trifle. Now, when it comes to pavlova and trifle, I like to choose my own pavlova and my own trifle because I like to have my own amounts. But I couldn't walk. I couldn't even move from my seat, and I couldn't even talk straight. And my daughters came in and they says, you all right, Mum? I says, of course not. And they says, oh, do you want a pav? I said, yes, please. I says, I wouldn't mind a trifle too. They says, you just stay there. They says, we'll do it for you. Oh, man. So they got me my pav. I had no choice because I couldn't do it. And they got me my trifle. Of course, I couldn't even choose it myself. And I was able to have a pav and a trifle. My daughter served me all night, all day. Oh, wow. But the thing is, I got the giggles. I didn't know how to stop. And then all I wanted to do was get up and walk. I couldn't do that. So I was sitting there from lunchtime right through to 8. By 8 o'clock, everybody was gone home. And it just left me and my partner. He goes, you all right? I said, no. He said, can you walk? I said, not yet. Finally, I was able to get up and walk back to my room, and I started to slowly come right. But I tell you what, I will never forget my birthday. I loved every minute of it, the fun, the stupidity of the whole thing. And yeah. So apart from all my hospitalization, unable to walk, getting water in my knee, my leg blowing up, and having a bit of a heart attack, which shouldn't have happened because of that Trulicity thing. And I never ever had one like that again. It's just, I just don't have it. I think it was a real false indication. So if you're going to have Trulicity, that's your problem. Yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't wish this upon anybody, no. But I tell you what, my partner told my family member, it's your fault she's like that. He goes, oh, sorry. That's all he could say. Sorry about that. But I'm going to tell you now, I will never touch another ever. Even if it's for my birthday, I don't care. I will never touch a cookie. Not that kind. Ever. But just a warning. If you're going to drive and somebody offers you one of those cookies, I would suggest you think twice about driving home, because it was about 12 I had that cookie, and by 1:45 I was dizzy. So if you're driving and you have had one of those cookies, which I don't suggest you do not drive. Because you will go all funny. And it's not a great idea. Not a great idea at all. Now that thunder, did you hear that? That was a big one. Usually if there's big thunder, there's big lightning. I'll just wait to see if there's going to be another one. I can't feel any rain or hear any rain, but that was weird. It's happening again. Sounds like rolling thunder. Now, lightning. I've always been freaked out about lightning because many years ago, when I was growing up and I was at primary school, my family and all of us were in the kitchen. And when I was in the kitchen, we used to use what was called a bar heater, the small ones. And it always kept the kitchen nice and warm. And then the thunder. Oh, yeah, we had our curtains up and it was thundering and all that sort of stuff. That was fine. And then the lightning came through the window and struck our heater. And I was next to the heater. I think I was about 10 years old. And that freaked the hell out of me. And I've never forgotten that. So every time I hear thunder, to this very, very day, I close the curtains. And I don't want no experience with lightning. Yeah, it's quite dangerous. So don't take those sort of things for granted. Ooh. Can you hear it? Because the last thunder was right on top of our roof. Yeah. And I don't know if you're experiencing thunder right now. Oh. Just got the #1 gifted badge. Who got that? Oh, thank you for people who have been sending roses and stuff like that. Sometimes I just get carried away and I just yap. And I forget what people are doing on it. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, where are we? Better go back and have another look. Oh, you know, we've all got a story to tell. And it's amazing what kind of lifestyle you have. And we are living in what's called an imperfect world. And of course, we are imperfect people. I don't even know what to say. But yeah, I can't believe that I've pulled through so much of my life this year. It's actually the worst year I've ever had. It has been. But I'm a fighter. And I will push to survive. I'm not sure what you would do, but that's what I do. Yeah. And yes, I decided to come back on TikTok for the fact that I haven't actually been on for a very, very, very long time. Now you know why. And yeah, so thank you for those who have climbed on and joined. And I know you don't stay very long. It's fine. Oh, that thunder. Sorry, the thunder just keeps startling me because I didn't actually expect it. Okay. What are the things I love to do? Okay, my most favorite is I love to sing. I call it an addiction, so be it. Yeah, singing makes me happy. Funny. The first time I went to hospital and then I got out after 12 days, I went busking the very next day. Started singing away there. And then some of the people who knew I was in hospital says, "Oh, shouldn't you be home?" I said, "No. Why?" Sing, yeah, because singing makes me happy. That's why. Okay. Then I went into hospital the second time, 7 days. Got out straight away. Went singing again, because it made me happy, and I did it again. I go in, was in agony, water in my knee, hospital for 2.5 weeks. Got home, went out singing again. Oh, this is what I do, eh? And I tell you what, I also have bookings with rest homes. They bring me the hugest, biggest joy. It's going out singing to the elders, and I have so much fun, even if I go to the wrong rest home, which I've done. I went to a rest home thinking, oh yeah, good, and then all these people were there, and they were going, oh, okay, so you're here. So they started bringing the rest of the old people in their wheelchairs and all that. And I sat there and I started singing away there. Then I got a phone call. I thought, oh, hang on. And the ladies, other caregivers were ringing me up saying, where are you? I said, what do you mean, where am I? I'm here. Are you in the office? They says, hang on, you're supposed to be by us. So I looked at the people in this rest home that I was in. I said, oh, what's the name of this rest home? And it wasn't the rest home I was supposed to be in. I went, oops. I said, I have to go. They said, no, you're not. You're not going. I says, why? They said, you got to stay with us. I said, but I'm at the wrong rest home. I said, how about this? We'll make a deal. I'll stay for half an hour, and then I can go to the original one that I'm supposed to be at. They says, you got a deal. So I talked to the lady on the phone. I says, they've asked me to stay for half an hour. And I says, and when I come to the right rest home, I said, I'll stay for an extra half hour. Is that fine? They said, yes. They says, but don't take too long. Oh, I think that was the funniest thing I'd ever been through. And I just love doing the rest homes. The people there are just so, so into the music. And I don't just sing, the music that they're used to. I actually sing a variety of music for them. I certainly do. And that's why they enjoy the music. It's not your typical, I don't know, run of the mill songs. And the good thing about it is I actually, like, next half hour, I'll say, give me a song you want. And so they will shout out, oh, could you sing this song? I tell you what, most of the rest homes like this one particular song. It's called Sweet Caroline. Just about every rest home I've gone to, can you please sing Sweet Caroline? And I go, you know what? You fellas watch TV too much because it's part of the commercial. But they love the song, so I have to sing it. And then they all have so much fun. But Sweet Caroline seems to be number one on the charts in the rest homes. I just thought I'd share that with you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So far, I have heard no more thunder. That is good. Anyway, I think I've been chatting long enough. And I'll just see some of the people that have been on here. So if you're still there, I'm just saying hello to some people got numbers, so I don't understand that. Hine Wairoa. Who else? And Fano. Oh, am I saying it wrong? Andre. Is that Andre? Who else? Going back down the line. Sima Shalom. Now, when I'm saying your name, I'm actually saying hello, my way. I am Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Craig. See, the words are so small and I'm looking with my glasses. Stephen Situ. Kia ora. Mr. Naughty. I hope you're not that naughty. Ryan. Oopsie. 9774 to go. Hello. What's that? Can't see. Some people got funny names. Keeks. Throwing spaghetti. That's really interesting. Sounds like a game. Isaac. Dane, boy from New Zealand. Hello. Someone says they got the number 1 gift, the badge. Oh. Chrissy Icy. Natalia Carson. Hello. Piranara. Oh. Piranaras. I know that they're from, or the ones I know are from Christchurch, but they're also from Waverley. Okay. Semphis. Who's this? Huds. Hello. Next, going up the thing. Parwin. Ramazan. Radine. Ash. Good. The names I can't read, I won't read. Harmony Rangi. Kia ora. Up the Wars. Oh. I mean, I loved that game when they beat, I've forgotten who they beat, but that was absolutely a fantastic game with the one they won. Not so much the Bronx, but yeah, they were cool. Jubby, Bina, Joshua, what else is Giga? Is that Giga Man? Milo Eater. Oh, you like your Milo? Actually, I do too. I just haven't had any for a long time. Horsing it. This is on Badman's Dawn. Hello. Flixum. Baby Boomers. Up the Wires. They're cool. Karen Williamson. Skylar. Kinsley. Mitzi Man. Kia ora, Auntie. Who's this? Keith? From the Keith family? Hello? Oh. Are you Uncle Mike's whānau? Okay, next one. The Lighthouse. Keith. Oh, which one are you? You've got Keith. Tisha. Alcasta. Who's this? Dello. Cuff Boy. There's been quite a few on here. Mama Teaser. Eddie Marie Davis. Taki Moana. Oh, that's a long name. Elijah Moore. Hello to all those people I'm mentioning right now, that names I can sort of see. Elijah. I have a nephew called Elijah. Hasty somebody. Paulo. Hope Forever. Joe who? Joe. Somebody Joe. Carol and Stevie. Kia ora to you both. Mantia. Zahara Ahmadi. Who else? Sorry, I can just barely see the names. Blood Angel. Managam, Eric Legend, Trent. I don't know if half you people have actually heard my stories when I first started. So many names. Fuller Boy, Bay, Michael BBB, Any Coin, oh okay, ABC, Tyler, Gusty, who's this, 9774, Takarangi. Oh, so you're from Putiki? Putiki? There's any Takarangis I know. Tiku, Kali Mimi, A, Vitalia, Aggie, Tiare Daniel, Aggie Daniel, Grant Williams, Francis Noroa. And just, I'm reading, if you didn't realise, I'm actually saying hello, but I'm saying the name so you know that I'm actually having a good look. Matt Blout, Tina Natai, Jaza, Shelley, Chicken, Miss Mays, Coco, Bad Boys, Hustle Flow, Cowboy Grey, Cowboy. So hello, Cowboy. Moted, Cowboy again. Cowboy again. Live Creator, okay. Midnight with a NYTE. Joe. Mean Napuhi Māori. Mean Māori mean. Woohoo. Okay. Josh Wood. I can't see that name there. Sorry about that. Carl Mayer. Levi. Cowboy Grey. So kia ora. Sila. TikToker. Victor Manuko. So I'm assuming you're from Manuko up in Auckland. Cowboy, TikToker. Same names. Oh. Okay. Now what's these messages? Hooker. Whoops. Go back now the other way. Hooker. What's hooker? Wood. Don't know who you are. Hey. Joined. I think I said everybody's names. I don't think I've missed anybody. Starting to hear the rain. So do you know that where there's thunder, there's always lightning? Where there's lightning, there should be rain. Yeah. Okay. This is probably the longest I've actually been online. Actually, I don't even know how long I've been on here. Yeah. So, family. Family, wakapapa, all that's very important to me. Family. I'm the youngest of 6. I am number 6, and there is my older sister, then there's my older brother. After that, there's another sister who I lost prior to COVID in 2020. She was actually my favourite sister. I miss her so much. Of all people. Now, telling you about my sister, and she didn't want to live anymore. And the reason why is because she was all, put it this way, I call it meshed up. She, over the years, the doctors had given her what was called mesh. If you don't know what that is, it's like a net inside your womb. Now, this is very interesting stuff because my sister suffered the mesh problems for 20 plus years. And she survived it. She kept surviving it. Then she'd gone back to hospital so many times to get rid of the mesh. She tried everything. She even growled them. Now, she ended up joining this page called Mesh Down Under. It's on Facebook. And a lot of people complain about what the mesh has done to them because there's no ACC in New Zealand to help any woman who's gone through a mesh episode. And I feel for them. I feel for all women who've gone through it because of my sister. It got to the point that my sister had her last operation. And I remember going down to Auckland because she was in North Shore. And then one night I walked into the room. She looked at me. She says, "I'm tired." She says, "I can't handle this anymore. I've had enough." Oh, that got me worried because I think I had a funny feeling I knew what she was saying. You know, we can't, how can I say, when somebody makes up their mind about what kind of life they want or don't want, we cannot be unfair to that person and say, "No, you're doing the wrong thing. No, you've got to live. You've got to do this. You've got to do that." We are not suffering what she's going through. Now, the story goes like this. When this female doctor put mesh in her, 10 years prior, that was another lot. She was supposed to only put one. Well, when some other doctors looked through her, my sister, they actually found that she'd put 9 more mesh into her. Horrible. It was a horrible thing. So she went into hospital for them to take it out. They took most of it out, but listen to this. Round by the anus area, true facts, true story, it ended up, it's raining, it ended up webbed around the anus, which means nothing she tried to do could get through, meaning her bowels, they were blocked by a mistake made with mesh through this female doctor who stuffed up my sister's system by her bowels. That was the area that my sister suffered the most. So when she was in hospital, I knew something strange was happening because she wanted to get up, she wanted to move. But my sister lost the will to live. I tried to keep my sister alive, which is just a normal thing for me. So I told them to give my sister more potassium because she was very low, and I knew that the potassium in her would help heal her. And she said to the doctors, "Whatever my sister wants to do, you let her." Unfortunately, her daughters didn't know what she had said to me. And but I was really sad for them because of the conditions she left with her daughters to make a decision for her. So because the majority of the decisions were made for her daughters to decide, I knew I couldn't handle it. So I said to my sister, I'm going home now. She says, that's okay. That's okay. And she gave me the biggest hug and she goes, I love you. And I says, I love you too. I love you so much. And she says, I want to thank you for what you have done for the family regarding Whakapapa. She says, and I love you so much for that. And so eventually I ended up going home, not straight away. My daughters came to support me and they helped me go onto the bus because it was just a last minute decision. And then I was able to catch the bus back home. And I missed my sister so much because I knew that when she did come home, it wouldn't be any other way. And eventually she came home and we took her to a marae. It was really, really sad that we had to go through that. I don't know who.
Hi, beautiful girl. Oh, Mama aa gayi hai. Hi, Mama. How are you?
I am good.
Mama, where are you from?
Romania.
Romania. Oh, wow.
ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਾਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਰ ਤੂੰ
ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ
ਤੂੰ ਇੱਧਰ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਵਾ
ਉੱਥੇ
ਤੇ
ਜਾਣਦੇ
ਮੇਰੇ
ਸੀ
ਤੇ ਕਰ ਚਲੋ ਚੁੱਕ ਫਿਰ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਗਮਾ ਮਾਮਾ
They can't see
accept
what
the
I'm
game,
looking
guys. Mama, accept the game, Mama. Mama, accept the game.
ਹੁਣ ਕੌਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਰਿਹਾ
ਉਹ ਮਾਮਾ ਚੁੱਕ ਲਿਆ ਹੁਣ
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਲਿਆ ਵੇ
ਇਹ ਮਾਮਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਰਹੀ ਮਾਮਾ so you
ਓਏ
wanna
ਉਹਦਾ
play
ਨਾਂ ਰੋਹ ਹੈ ਯਾਰ
You can accept the
ਮਾਮਾ
game.
ਉਹਨੇ
I don't know
ਚੱਕੀ
his code, eh?
I don't understand.
ਅਮਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਚੱਕਰ ਹੈ
I pressed the button
ਉਹ ਮਾਮਾ ਹੀ ਚੁੱਕਦੀ ਪਈ
and I'm talking
ਮੌਤ
to some
ਪਈ
foreigners. I got
ਇੰਨੀ ਮੌਤ
no
ਪਈ ਚੁੱਕ
idea what
ਲਿਆ
they're saying. Something's wrong with my machine.
ਇਹ ਨਾਲ ਕੱਟ ਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਚੁੱਕਣਾ
ਰਾਣੀ
Oh, what the heck?
ਉਹ ਚੁੱਕੋ ਮੈਚ ਇਹ ਰੋਹ
I
ਨਹੀਂ
can't
ਚੁੱਕ ਰਹੀ
understand the language.
ਓਏ ਮਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਬੁੱਢੀ अस्सलाम वालेकुम वालेकुम अस्सलाम रानी कैसी हो
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੁੱਢਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੱਢ ਯਾਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ
मैं
ਚੁੱਲਣਾ
नहीं चुक रहा बात
I don't know what to do. Yay. Phew. Finally. I gotta be careful what button I push. And I'm thinking, what? Who are these people? Anyway, I won't be doing that again. So the day before COVID actually hit, my sister, we were able to bury my sister. Of course, she had so many friends that wanted to be there but weren't able to show up because my sister used to be in the Air Force, and many of the Air Force friends would have shown up to her funeral. It was just sad that the day before it was lockdown. So we were able to have the funeral. We were very, very lucky. And Normally we would stay the night, family from Auckland, Hamilton, wherever they all lived, would normally stay for one night after the meal. We have what's called a hakari. So straight after the meal, you'd stay one more night. But that didn't happen. Everyone just had their meal packed up, cleaned up, and took off because they were afraid they're going to be locked out of their own hometown. And my sister was buried, all done just before lockdown. But I cried for quite some time because, we always rung each other. We always talked to each other, and she was always giving me orders. Don't forget to do this and do that. And yeah. I missed all that. I missed all that of her. She was always very supportive of me. In anything that I was doing, she would sit there in awe of me and be so proud of the things that I was doing in those last couple of years with her. Always supporting. But she was like that with all her nephews and nieces as well. And she had a special part in every one of their lives. And but I felt I was the longest because I was her sister. My other sisters are fine, but I felt I had more. A special part in her life. Yeah, and I sit back and I miss all those phone calls. Yeah, we used to ring each other because she lived in Auckland, and I just missed her so much. I still do, and I have a bit of a cry because I can't believe that I lost my sister. She was also a favourite of my dad. My dad passed away in 1997, and of all people to pass away in 2020 was his favourite daughter. And that's a fact. It just made no sense. And it did make sense because that mesh took my sister out. So, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, just think about it. Have you recently had a hysterectomy? Because not long after my sister had a hysterectomy, they started giving her the mesh then. Yeah. That's the first time she had it. And then she said something felt wrong. And I remember her saying, I feel pain. I feel pain. And this was for quite some time, quite a few years, that she says, people think I'm crazy because I keep complaining about the pain. But she was complaining because they were putting more mesh in her. So I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. If you can find some other way other than using mesh, then do it. But if you can avoid the mesh that meshed up my sister. And I remember too when I walked into the hospital for the first time to see my sister, she looked up at me. She says, look what it's done to me. Look at me now. Look what it's done to me. And I was like, and right then when she was talking to me, she was in agony, in pain. And they were giving her morphine. I don't think people realise how much mesh can mess you up. Check out the page on Facebook. A lot of them are still going through this, wondering, is there any cure? And the page is called Mesh Down Under. It's there on Facebook. And my sister's story is on there too. My sister Rona. She's on there. She put a spiel on there a long time ago. So it would have been 2020 and before then, 2020, 2019. Yeah. She just wanted to warn everybody about what she was going through. So if you want to check it out, ka pai. And if it can save somebody's life and prevent them from getting mesh, then that's the thing to look at. Yeah, just look it up. Mesh is like like all these wiry nets that they put inside you. I don't have any, but I know there's a lot of people who do. I even talked to some receptionists, and they says, "Oh yeah, well we had that." I says, "You need somebody who's professional, because in our hometown, they can do it, but they're not professionals. I'll tell you the ones who are probably more professional, the ones in Auckland or Wellington, but not my hometown. They are, I call them mesh frauds, because it's pūtea money. Yeah, so you got to know who to trust in, because actually that goes with anything. That goes with anything. There's just so much medication out there that we know nothing about. That's a fact. Like Trulicity, I knew nothing about it. I just trusted the doctor, and it nearly killed me. That's why I won't ever touch Trulicity again. Now, okay, talking about products. There is no cure for psoriasis, okay? But they can try products to see if it works. They can try. When I was in hospital, I was given some medication called methotrexate. Now, methotrexate, I don't know if you guys have heard of methotrexate. It's also followed 2 days later by another product called folic acid. If you take methotrexate, you have to wait a couple of days first before you take the folic acid. Now, I went to see a dermatologist, I think it was the 1st of September, and I wasn't too happy with him, because I didn't know that you had to take methotrexate and folic acid separate, and you had to wait for a couple of days. He told me nothing. And then he says, "Any questions?" And I go, I don't know what to ask a dermatologist. They should know. So, because when I went back into the hospital, he says, "Oh, no. You don't take the folic acid with the methotrexate. It just won't work." I went, "Well, why didn't the dermatologist tell me that?" Anyway, I haven't touched it. I couldn't put that stuff in my mouth. I'm seeing a dermatologist tomorrow. He's not going to be too happy with me. You know what? I don't care. I worry about stuff I put in me. I really do. It took me ages before, yeah, what you call heart pills. I call it old people's pills. So it took me, gosh, how many years? Probably 20 years before I decided, oh yeah, okay, I'll have this one. That's a fact. But I have to admit, it works. So the particular one I have for me right now is called Candesartan. It actually works, and it's excellent. My blood pressure's down and all that, so must be good because it's working for me. But I looked online for people who actually took methotrexate. Some had only just started it for the first time, but what's the result? I got no idea. And thank you for the hearts from somebody there. Thank you. And I tell you what, I can't put that methotrexate in my mouth. And I know that this dermatologist is not going to be very happy with me. And I don't care. So, well, there must be another option out there. I did talk to my doctor about light therapy, so I might talk to the dermatologist about that. But he didn't do a biopsy on me. If he'd done that and really cared about me to show me that, he means well, I might have changed my mind. But I didn't. So anyway, I'm going to speak my mind to him and tell him what I think. And the reason why I haven't taken it since he saw me last month. Because I do worry what I stick inside my body. And because I take candesartan, I'm thinking, does that interfere with my candesartan? What about the Burinex? The Burinex is a better version of furosemide. I know because I've seen my legs, and my legs have not swollen, and it's better. Not 100%, but it's certainly not bloated. Oh, who is this? Thank you very much. I much appreciate what you're given those hearts. Thank you. Yes, so I will find out tomorrow what the result will be regarding methotrexate, me not taking it. I want to see how clever this dermatologist is in thinking, well, have you got any other options? You only gave me one and assumed I was going to take it, and I haven't. Because it doesn't make sense to my brain that you take methotrexate and then 2 days later you take folic acid. Because to me, you become anemic. You become anemic is why you have folic acid. Why? Is something else going wrong? Why would I want to take methotrexate? I have no problem with my, I don't have neomycin. And I don't have any problems with my iron. But the moment I touch methotrexate, I'll have problems with my iron. Doesn't make sense to my brain. And I make choices for my body. Now, when I say I make choices, I'm not too sure if you know what happened. I think I told you that the second time I went in, I had Trulicity, and I was in hospital for 7 days. I didn't tell you everything. I just told you so much. Now, what happened when I was in the hospital? I was in the hospital for 7 days and I signed myself out. Now, why did I sign myself out? Because I refused to take 50% dextrose. Yeah, 50% dextrose. And this female doctor said, you can't go home. I says, why? She says, because your potassium's too high and you need to take 50% dextrose. I says, why? And she says, well, you have to. I said, but I don't want to. And she says, well, if you don't take it, she says, I will lose my job. I looked at her. I looked at this doctor and I says, oh, well, I will solve your problem. I will make sure you don't get into trouble and you don't lose your job. And she looked at me and I says to her, I will sign myself out so you don't get into trouble. And she says, but you can't go home. You need to take that 50% dextrose. I says, why? She says, because it's too high, and you're dropping. What a lovely thing to say to somebody who's in the hospital already suffering, and you're telling them if you don't take it, you're going to drop dead. Now, that was on June the 13th. That was on June the 13th. I thought, whoa. So I haven't dropped dead. It's now September, and it's the 29th now, and I never took the dextrose. Anyway, I got out of hospital, and then 2 days later I went to go and see my doctor, and I told my doctor what she had said. He says, oh, there's better ways of talking to people. And I says, you can say that again. And he says, anyway, I'll do your blood test. So he did a blood test on me that Friday. Monday. It came to Monday. And he called me and he says, there's nothing wrong with your bloods, there's nothing wrong with your potassium. He says, you're fine. I tell you what, I probably have never been so angry to realise that this woman was determined to give me 50% dextrose. Now, I looked it up online. You check it out yourself. The reason they give you 50% dextrose is because you're supposed to be unconscious. Did you know that? I was very much alert. And I was very much certain I was not going to have that. I actually felt I was going to get worse if I had that. And yes, I actually signed myself out of the hospital the second time. Yeah. So if you feel unsafe while you are in hospital, then you make your choice. It's your body. It's your life. You have a right to make a decision for you. And if you think that the doctor's right and you still want to take the medication they suggest, that's your choice. Some areas I did listen to the doctor, and there's some areas I refused to listen. Especially that female doctor. Oh my God. Don't let them get away with it. It took me a while, about a couple of months, but I wrote to the hospital board and I complained. I've since received 2 letters. The second letter said that they're going to be looking into it. And I think, no, they're taking too long. All I asked was a simple, apology from that woman. And I said to the hospital, I do not want you apologising on her behalf. All I want is that. That's all I've asked. I've got one more letter to write because I haven't heard back from the hospital since that second letter I've received. And they said they were going to take it before the board. Well, it's no big deal. All they have to do is say to her, write an apology. Simple. I could have asked for more, but all I wanted was for her to say, I'm sorry for speaking to you in that manner and putting pressure on you. I shouldn't have done that. Because, hospitals, they have a protocol on how to treat clients. And I was one. And she broke every rule in the book. Because when I left after that 7 days and I signed myself out, I was feeling unsafe around her. Very, very unsafe. So my decision was I'm going home to my family who I feel safe with. And sometimes you have to do that. You can do that. You don't have to sit back and say, oh, the doctor said I've got to do this and all that. And you wonder sometimes, some people who say, oh, okay, I'm going to take this medication because the doctor said, they go home and they get worse. I don't know why. But when you feel something is not right, don't do it. Simple. Okay? Just don't do it. The only thing that happened to me again after I left the hospital was water in my knee. But that got fixed. I ended up on crutches, but I'm okay because I'm not on crutches anymore. And, yeah, I just watch my health more. Oh yeah, as I said earlier, TikTok, it doesn't always work properly for me. It goes jumpy, my words get all out of time, and that's probably the reason also too why I very rarely get on TikTok. It's because of the timing, always goes out. But, I thank you for those who've given me likes. I'm much appreciated of that. And also to thank yous for those who've joined me and listened to memories. And it's good to share because you just never know what other people have gone through, what they've experienced. And of course the reasons why I wasn't on here for a long time. For those who have been listening, you know now. Yeah, so as I said, life changes you. I didn't know it was going to happen to me, but it has. Yeah. And if you've just joined me, I had a hell of a story to tell. But I only just jumped back home. Just to let you know that to thank you for those who have actually listened to my stories, many stories about my experiences, what caused me to be in hospital, my experiences of losing my sister to mesh, my experiences with doctors and hospitals, and how quickly your life can change. And that's pretty much what I've experienced. And also what I went through during COVID. And I'm not able to continue working because there were rules and I couldn't do a thing while the mandates were still on. And then they put traffic lights and all that sort of stuff. Well, actually, talking about traffic lights, they're putting traffic lights on people in New Zealand who are doing job seeker. I just thought I'd share this with you. Thank you for your messages. The new news in New Zealand is there's going to be another kind of traffic light for those who are job seekers. Now, job seekers are going to have to report every 6 months. The traffic light, I've forgotten how it works, but all I know is they have to have a job. Now you think about it, it's quite funny. When you were experiencing COVID and you were working, they took your job off you. Now, if you're back on job seeker, they're forcing you now back into work. Which is quite opposite to what they did back in 2021 in November, where you lost your job. Weird. So now they've put this traffic light system. You've only got so long to find a job, and you have to have one, otherwise they're going to cut your benefit. Whoa. Will that work? I don't know. And we're also in the middle of voting for Labour or National, or for any other group that you're interested in, like the Māori Party, ACT Party, Green Party, New Zealand Party, or New Zealand First. And there's quite a few other parties that I've never heard of before, but they're all part of this new thing that's coming in. And all the votes have to take place by October the 14th. So if you're in Aotearoa, vote, because your vote will help change the nation. And if you don't like National Labour, which is happening to a lot of people, but I tell you what, there's a lot that just do not like Labour. And I cannot see Labour getting in. And if they do, what a surprise. But people don't forget. People do not forget what happened to their family members during COVID. What happened to a lot of their elderlies that were in the hospital who didn't understand what COVID was all about. And they thought they were being neglected because they didn't understand that COVID stopped families from going in to visit. What did the old people know? They didn't know. They didn't know that was the reason why their family weren't showing up. Oh, there's just so many things that happened during COVID that changed a lot of people's lives, including mine. I had a full-time job. It got taken off right from underneath me because I made a decision to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what decisions you made. But there were some terrible things that took place here in my hometown. It was awful. And it was just over a man sitting there. He was handicapped. It's a true story. And all he wanted to do was just sit down. He didn't go into the shop for coffee. He just sat down. One leg. He had one leg. He had crutches. And he sat down on the seat by this particular coffee shop. And he ended up with 4 or 5 cops hanging around him, telling him he had to leave. And he says, why? He says, I can't do much. I've only got one leg. And you know what? They lifted him up and carried him away. We were so angry because there was another coffee shop next door. And it was just so horrifying. That whole news ended up in the paper because of what the police did to this poor handicapped man. True story. And I tell you what, if I go back into the papers and look for it, I'll find it. I will find it. And I will show you the story about this poor guy who got taken away because the coffee shop manager complained that he was sitting on their seat and called the police. That's what I mean by stupid things were happening. You know, there's also what was called, you had to have a pass to go into any restaurant. All of that was just so stupid. I haven't forgotten. I have not forgotten about these certain shops that did that stopped us from entering. And I don't ever go back into those places again. And that's a true story. To this very day, there's certain shops, certain bakeries I will not enter. And I have not gone back to them since COVID. Because I haven't forgotten what they did. Yeah. And I think that's going to happen too during the votes. And some of the stories I remember from the ladies from Picton who cried their eyes out and said, I used to vote for Labour, but I'm never going to vote for them ever again. Because they were kicked out of the cafeterias in Picton. See, people are not going to forget. And when I was at the protest in Wellington, this woman stood up and she says, I regret the day my husband went in to go and get the injection. She lost her husband-to-be. They were going to get married. Because he made the decision to take the vaccine. Yes, there's a lot of people who took the vaccine and they're still fine. My daughters took the vaccine. But they never took the boosters. Do they regret taking it? Yeah, they do. Sometimes I wonder why they did it. As long as they're still here. Did they have problems? Yes, they sure did. My daughter collapsed and she was in the kitchen and she fell to the floor. She called me, says, Mum, come pick me up. Now, I had to travel to Wellington, which takes a couple of hours. And the guys were there, but they didn't know how to pick her up, touch her, being a female, a woman. And but eventually she was able to get herself back into her room. And by the time I arrived, she just wasn't herself. She was afraid she was going to fall over again. Of course, she fell over twice, once in the kitchen and then by the stairway. That's bad. That's really bad. And then I'll tell you what, when I finally got her home, we discussed what could have been causing this. And we realised that it was interfering with what was her period. Because she says, Mum, it's gone thick. And I've never experienced this before. She says it just made her funny because she's never experienced that kind. And this is what we believe the injection did to her. She believes it was the injection. Now, it's her body, it's herself, and she knows herself better than any of us. And to this day, she says she regrets it. Even my other daughter, and it makes them go a bit funny, psychologically. And my other daughter, she went through it too, but many, many, many months down the track before she went a bit funny. Both my daughters are fine now. Lessons learned? Yes. Curiosity learned? Yes. Now, my youngest daughter, she was working in Auckland and she ended up helping a lot of the people that needed accommodation who came from overseas. And she would support them with food and kai and everything in the motels, and she would help them out. She was fantastic. She was a cocktail waitress. Very good at what she did. She knew every cocktail you could think of. But then, when it got dicey, when I say dicey, she was getting a bit worried because she thought that they were going to tell her to take the booster. But she got pregnant. So then she handed in her notice and she moved back home. So I was really pleased with that decision. Yeah, so some decisions are hard to make. My mother, my mummy, she loved Jacinda Ardern. Of course, I was opposite to her. I still am. My mum could find no wrong with Jacinda. Even though I told her everything wrong about her, my mum cannot see the other side. I says, you know, the trouble, Mum, is you never actually came to the protest. You never actually experienced what people went through. And you're saying you know what happened because you saw it on TV. That's how my mum made her judgments. I know, because I saw it on TV. Not a good idea. Not a good look. And, yeah, so I've got only negativity I get is from my mum. It doesn't matter how convincing I will try to explain to her what actually took place, what actually happened. She goes, no. She says, that didn't happen. I says, yes, Mum, it did happen. That man was pushed against the toilet and the policeman gouged his eye. She goes, no. I says, Mum, I have photos. I says, he's okay now. So I've had photos taken with this man. He actually became quite well known amongst all the protesters. And I says, so And that's in the paper too, Mum. She just looked at me but still, to her, Jacinda Ardern could do no wrong. So I was talking to a brick wall. And that's the choice. I says, Mum, it's your choice. You've made your choice. And actually, I'm fine with that. I've made my choice, so I'm fine with mine. You made me a song? Who's this? Yeah. Let me join. I made you a song. What's your name? Number 1. Last time I joined a page, it was a page full of foreigners. I didn't understand a word they were saying. So, yeah, I don't know about joining up other people's pages. Thank you for the invites. That's a strange saying. Have a blessed day, night, beautiful human. Interesting. Sounds like a robot. Anyway. Is it? Oh, you've got online. Oh, yeah, okay. Number 1. You are English? Oh, okay. And you have a TikTok page of your own where you sing? I'm just guessing. Okay. Chris Photo. What's this? New Zealand music artist. New Zealand Underground. Oh, okay. See what happens. New Zealand Music Artist Leaks. 1,964 following. 277 followers. What do I do now? What's this? What's this? Oh, I don't understand. Sorry, I don't know what to do, so, Anyway, thank you for those who have shared my life and my stories just by being there and showing up. I just want to say, that I think if it wasn't for God in my life, I don't know if I could have survived as much as I have through this life, this year, because I believe He's been my healer and kept me going and kept me believing and trusting, because whether you like it or not, Jesus is Lord. He's Lord of my life, even if I mess up. But just keep believing, okay? If I didn't believe, I'd believe in nothing and nothing would happen. Okay, so I'm actually going to go now. I think I'm quite happy with the amount of things I have shared. I'm sorry, number one, but I'm going to go now. And I thank you all for taking part and just showing up. Much appreciated for the likes and the hearts. Very appreciative. So thank you very much. And I don't know when I'll be back on again, but take care. God bless. And may God reward you in your life and that you don't have to go to hospital like I did. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. See you later.